is the microphone. Hi. Testing, 1, 2. Just gonna check our audios. The microphone is gonna be sound a little off today. We're using the microphone on my headset, so it's gonna sound shittier. I'm just giving it a good old test here to make sure my levels are correct. So please give me a moment here as I just listen to myself and what have you. That's not me. I want to listen to my stream. I dislike the new app for Twitch. I just want to look at my channel. So I don't know how you do that. I forgot how I did it. Can I just look myself up? My channel. There we go. There. Testing 1, 2. I could probably turn up the music, which is fine. Turn it a little bit down, but there we go. You guys can enjoy some music as I talk, and you'll be able to hear me still, which is a shame because I know people don't want to hear me. But anyways, we are here. Hello, hello. Yeah, thank you for stopping on by to listen to my stream. This is day 2 of the paint challenge. If you guys haven't seen it, I will be uploading that video later today. I do have plans, so it's not going to be able to long. I unfortunately got sucked into TV, and we'll kind of go over it as I start painting. That way you guys aren't just staring at the prepare screen. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Today we're going to be painting the werewolves. I finished the raiders, which are basically the just basic run in and punch people sort of fodder of the Nord's army. Recommend getting a couple units of them. They're going to be your stuff. They're light, so they can't hold objectives, which again, once we actually get game going with Callum to record on my channel, we'll talk about more in-depth rules, or you can check out my conquest video to see the core rules, and then you can understand why light matters and stuff. But anywho, I'm going to turn on the camera here, and we're going to get right into it, and we'll just talk about some certain stuff that's been going on, and maybe help somebody out also with dealing with things. So get the camera all nice and set up, nice and aligned. With where I am sitting. You guys probably don't want to see my gut anyways. There we go. Shadowing. The shadow. Come on. There we go. Oh yeah, to the main screen. Huzzah! And we are here. I'm going to turn down the music slightly so I can hear my own thoughts. I get noise feedback loops helps can't think well. Anyways, so I'm going to be starting with these guys today. These are my wolves. I'm going to be running 2 units of these in my army. So I do have another unit of them coming in, but basically buying the first blood box, buying the first blood, buying the 2-player star set that was City State versus Nords, and then buying the City State 1-player army box got me about 2,000 points or so. So that will be great on that end. Anyways, so let's get right into it. We're gonna paint these boyos. I drink water. But yeah, we're gonna start with their clothing. So these straps that are on some of them, these straps right here. My earsies. My earsies. Alright, so we're going to be running with our Mornfang 2.0 that we used yesterday. I'm going to be using this Mornfang 2.0. Yeah. I guess we can start here and we'll just talk about what's going on. If you hear some buzzing in the background, again, room has really shitty circulation and I'm sitting by a lot of heat sources. So I need the fan to blow all the heat out of the room or I'm going to either pass out from heat exhaustion or everything's going to shut down from being too hot. So it is unfortunately an inevitable thing I need to use until situations change. Which, yeah. Let's talk about kind of why I was late here. This is going to be a personal trauma dump sort of thing. Not really, but you know. I don't know, I've just been feeling really funky this week. This is my first real vacation. I've always lived kind of in a world of stress and not knowing what's going on, having to be in the moment, always doing things. I have to be, you know, constantly I'm always doing something. And this probably came from just how I grew up. I'm not going to go into that. This isn't a therapy session. This is me just explaining things. And maybe somebody out there too also feels this way. But I just haven't been able to relax all week. And then other things coming on, like stuff with my body, you know, getting older, not being able, like getting that exercise in I would if I was at work, that socializing, as my roommate's always gone because of events or work and stuff. So it's just me and me here taking care of their cat, which she has a lot of separation anxiety, so I can't really do anything without her constantly on me or noticing that I'm up and about. So then she wants me to do everything with her, which I guess isn't a bad thing. At least she wants to actually do stuff and, you know, wants to interact with people. She's not just constantly attacking me or, you know, hissing at me. So, but just, it's been lonely. I got this week off because Space Marine 2 was going to come out, and I thought I'd be able to play with friends and all these people that were going to, you know, be like, yeah, we'll play together. But I just never been able to. No one's got to me about it. No one's really talking to me. I guess I kind of just miss that social interaction and just being out in the sun. You know, loneliness has been a lot stronger, and I guess this morning, like when I finally woke up, because I haven't been able to sleep due to anxiety and stress, I just kind of zoned out and then I missed the time, and yeah, that's just unfortunately what happened. So that's kind of what I've been dealing with. That, and on top of the one friend who's the best is wanting to play games, but he runs into an issue that a lot of other people run into also, I think, from what I've heard. And this might be a better discussion with maybe the Northern XL chat. If you guys haven't seen him, highly recommend it. He's somebody who says what needs to be said in the wargaming community, RPGs and stuff, video games, and an advocate for mental health, especially men's mental health. And he has some really good words of wisdom, and I would highly recommend if you need some bro advice. Like he doesn't give it to you like a psychologist or anything. He gives it to you as a bro drinking at a bar with you. You know, your friend that you call up saying, "Hey, I'm not feeling okay." and he talks to you about it. He doesn't hold it back. You know, he gives you what you need through personal experience and, you know, caring. One of the few people that actually cares. And yeah, I know I've tried sending him a story, and I got how I normally get with things. I write it out, and I, instead of, you know, giving me the night to sleep it over and then rereading it like I should, because I do have issues explaining stuff on, especially in paper. I have a, I forget what the condition's called, but it is a mental disorder where I can't I got better by learning, but I can't process thoughts, or it's like reverse dyslexia. I have. Yes. Conquest, and sorry I didn't see your message just pop up right here. Um, Again, I get hyper focused, so I can't really see it. It does make noise. Conquest, Less Argument of Kings plays like what Sigmar First Edition should have been. So it's very much like Old World. So it's kind of like that. And if you use the Warhammer tab, it's probably I forgot to turn it off from last time. But yeah, it also kind of gets you more views. But anyways, yeah. Uh, yeah. Sorry if you were expecting Warhammer. There is definitely better channels out there. And again, I'm using a shittier mic today because the other one is out of service. Oh well, thank you. Synth is pretty awesome. I like her music. We're currently talking about personal issues and, you know, just answering questions about, you know, mental health and stuff, and kind of explaining what's been going on with me. It kind of helps get off my chest here. I've been dealing with some stuff, and I kind of thought this would be a perfect time to talk because I don't have anybody around right now. But I hope you're having a good day. I hope you've been having a good week. I know what it's like to work, and you know, it's Wednesday, you just want it to be over. Yeah, we're painting werewolves. These are from a faction called the Nords. Well, I'm glad you're still here. Hopefully it's working out for you. Even it might not seem so, you're here. That's a step from the days that were. So, you know, step every day. Yeah, the Nords are pretty sick. They're like Khorne meets like Vikings. They're like the old like Valkyria like history. So their whole gimmick was they were made by the space elves to basically fight for them because they make clones and stuff. That's their whole gimmick. And they were escaping from their planet, which they ran out of resources on. And what was supposed to be a scouting mission became an exodus to save their race. Nords kind of figured out what happened to them and what they're using them for, and they broke free from the space elves. And now they're just a bunch of very angry North mythology-esque Vikings that have the DNA structure of an Eevee. So werewolves, how they work, just kind of like how you think, is they get bit by their ice doggos, and if they survive, they come back, and when adrenaline hits, their body changes into werewolves. So it's not really like the moon, it's their adrenaline, because they're designed to be elite guards and stuff. So it's like whatever you splice into their DNA, they become. Just like for them, Valkyries, the female warriors, same idea. They're kind of like the Steve Roger of their faction. And instead of texts and listening to the actual lore, which unlike Games Workshop, this game actually tells you all the lore, but it'll also tell you the lore on how your faction sees it. Instead of them kind of like getting the full truth, which some of them do know, and they're actually not against talking things out, their history is passed by, what are they called? Not skulls. Is it skulls? They're bards. They're told verbally and grandiose. So that's where you get like, you know, Thor and the giants and Mjolnir and stuff like that. They're pretty neat. I highly recommend checking out the Conquest lore. All of it is free on their website, and it's interactive. So if you want to see kind of how the story goes, you can make a free account on there, and then every week you get a vote on how the lore goes, and that affects how they make the models and the armies. And I find every army is good. All of them have a unique and awesome ability, but it's not too complicated. And you can play both versions of the games with the same models. But that's my sales pitch. I've rambled, as you can tell. I ramble, that's what I do. But yeah. Going on what I was saying anyways. So yeah, that's just what I've been dealing with. And I did tell a story on his page. And where else was I going with this? But yeah, I think that's really it. I think I said what I said. So if anybody else is going through stuff, I highly recommend, you know, of course, the first option is always seek professional help. It's not weak to ask for help. If you don't feel comfortable with it and you want a place where you can, doesn't matter who you are, I'll just say bros in general, the bros, you know, the hobby community, definitely check out Northern Exile. In his Discord, they have sections on there with people, and even some professional psychologists are in there too, who will just be there for you. And I've had no bad experiences, even when I gave them that horrible story that I wrote up. The stuff I got back was not hate, but criticism that I needed to hear and was fair. And yeah, I would recommend his channel. So Wolf. Am I focused? I am not focused. Why did you unfocus, camera? There we go. Horse Heresy looked cool. I love the idea behind it. It's just I don't have the money. I live in one of the countries that Games Workshop hates, so they like double our pricing. But the Horse Heresy models are just sick. If I was to play, I'd probably play the Guardsman, just because I can use my Conflict 47 models. I am in the snowy place. As America complains about their pricings, which to be fair, they do have the right to, they're not, I think they're third. Like out of the major countries, I think they're in the third worst position for pricing. Canada is definitely second. And then like Japan and Australia are the worst. Yeah, if you like Heresy too, you'd actually really like Northern, because there's a lot of Heresy bros up there, and the community, from what I've seen here and on his channel, are very casual, and they play the game like how it used to be back in the day, like for 40k. You might like them. Is there any more straps on this boy? I like how they have doggo harnesses. Friggin'. If I got a string, I could attach it like a child harness. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, there you go. That's the only real way to do it. I used to actually work for Games Workshop. I was independent retail. I used to play their stuff. I used to be into it. I still read the books. I'm a Sisters of Battle fan. So I have their books. I have a couple of models left from my collection I sold. But after everything they've done in the last few years and how they were going, I had enough. I quit them, went to better things. I got into bolt action. I started my historical wargaming arc. That's how you know you're old. You're like, oh, I'll pick up a tank, or I'll pick up a lineman of British infantry for like black powder, and then boom, you have a whole battalion of French resistant fighters. I also used to have a 3D printer, but the spiral on it that moves the arm up and down, when I was taking it apart to clean it, because in my COVID sickened state, I thought I need to grease my arm because it hasn't been serviced in the last 3 years that I've owned it, which learned from my mistake. You don't need to. You don't need to service the thing unless there's an actual issue. They're pretty decent at making sure that stuff works, especially Anycubic and Mars. But yeah, the in my drunken COVID stupor, I was like, I need to add more lube to the arm on the spiral so it can move quieter. And my brain was like, WD-40 makes things quiet. And then I added it. And then my sane brain was like, no, WD-40 is meant for cleaning aluminum parts. And it's a degreaser. And guess what is on the swervely arm that moves the arm up and down? Pure grease. And so yeah, I went to go take the arm off to clean it off, you know, completely dry it, put on white lithium grease to make it work again. And as soon as the arm went down halfway, this thing was louder than a dude's like 98 Cadillac that hasn't had their disc brakes changed in like 5 years. This thing was so loud, I had to instantly just unplug it from the wall. And yeah, which is weird because the motor still works. Everything still works. It's just that coil, that screw is bent. Like whatever happened with it popping off, whatever pressure it had, it bent it. So I got to get a new coil or new screw. But they don't sell the screw separately. They're like built onto the motor. So I need to get my friend who's good at taking them apart to go in and replace the motor and screw. But I really liked that printer. It was very easy. It was very much a plug and play. And I bought a whole like a British Expeditionary Force Kickstarter to print to play some early war. I did look at the Marses. And I've heard a lot of people say Marses are really good for starters and stuff, and like they'll go to becoming pro too. I am a fan of the Anycubics, though I haven't heard anything about the Mars like plastic printers, like the what is it called? The sprawl, whatever the you know the coil, the wrapped up tubes of plastic. I might get one of those just because I live in a place where, again, the circulation is really bad and there's animals. So I might just sell my 3D printer, and in the future, when I'm stable again, buy a other printer or swap it for somebody who has one. Like fix the coil and I'll swap somebody who wants to upgrade to a resin printer. I mostly print busts nowadays or buildings, so having an FDM printer would not be a bad idea. But yeah, we got the straps all painted. Got their doggo harnesses painted. And now we're gonna paint, before I paint the silver because it's small, I'm thinking we're gonna paint the fur. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to paint the fur. I also have to make sprue goo. That stuff is pretty neat. I have the bottle. It's halfway empty. And I have nail polish, so remover. Yeah, Anycubic also always has like back to school sales, and like Amazon always has them on for like $200. So yeah, gonna finish these guys today, and then once we're done them, we're gonna paint this boyo. This is one of their giants, but yep. Alright, so that can go over here. Give that a shake because that's separating. Did you hear that P3 paints are coming back, and they're going to be either when you kickstart it, you can have the classic style of bottle, or you can have dripper bottles. Those are shaken up. We have, actually, do I use a bigger brush for this? No, this brush is good. We actually have a paint for this. Where is it? There you are. It's just fitting. We got to. Yeah, give it a good old shake. Because my plugin that I use for my paint shaker, which don't be afraid to get one of these things. This was like normally is $40 where I live. I got it on sale for like 15 bucks, but it's like it's China quality. You know, it's an electronic that was made cheaply, but in that cheaply made, add a little bit of lithium grease to the inside of this thing, and I can do about like 300 paints of like this style in an hour of shaking every month, especially with these dripper bottles from like if you know what paints separate very quickly. I always recommend, depending on your environment, you shake up paints that you don't use at least once a month, or if you live in a very warm or humid place or not in a basement, shake them at least once or twice. Shake them every one or 2 weeks. But yeah, this saves my arm. My arms are really bad, so I need one of these. But yeah, I just put a high voltage power supply in here and it shakes like crazy for the stuff that's really thick. And then I switch it to a lower voltage and it shakes normally. But yeah, it just vibrates really fast. And when with the googly eyes it shakes, it's funny. But I did that recently, so my paints are still good for me to be able to shake by hand. Alright, we're just gonna do this. There we go. Shake, 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 shake. I have tried the Warhammer Fanatics paints. They're actually really good. Though I think my favorite paints on the market right now are definitely the Too Thin Coats range. I do like them. Hey. Now, what is fur and what is skin? That is the question. I should have airbrushed this. Thinking about it, I should have just airbrushed them all, this brown, and then did the painting. Oh well. Oh yeah, I remember what I was going to be talking about the next subject. I call it forever DMing in the wargaming world, but there's probably another better word for it. But I have an issue. It could be an issue. It's a good issue. It's a first world problem. But I am the person in the friend group where no one wants to, and understandably, no one wants to buy models or invest into games. They always want to use your stuff. And as I've said before to my friends, people have played with my models more than I have played with them. And I don't know if I should feel like, am I bad for feeling like, kind of upset about this or angry at a point? Like, where's the line between allowing your friends to, demo a game because you want them to get into it, and where do you set the line to basically say, hey, if you want to keep playing with me, can you please buy some of your own models, and or even just proxy some of your own stuff? Like, I've haven't got to play with it. I'm getting tired of constantly having to be the person who has to read the rules, prep the things, pack up all my stuff, you know, constantly on the whim of them for what they want to play versus like and it doesn't also help that I don't have a vehicle or a stable form of transportation. Um, that's also another factor towards my mental health issue is the feeling of not being adequate enough and that causing me to be lonely and all the things. But anyways, it's like where do you get to the point where you just tell people like, hey, I'm done. Like I want to have a day where I can go to a game store, bring my army like that I've made, that's my stuff, that I've wanted to play forever, and just have a game with someone who's been playing for a while and maybe have them answer a couple of questions for me if a question arises. And also on that same note too, dealing with people who are coming from a competitive scene into those more casual war games like historicals or like conquest and stuff. Conquest is very much like a comfort game for me now. It's like easy mode, old world. Bleh. But yeah, that's kind of my thought. That was going to be a video topic actually I was going to talk about, or a question to ask in the Nord server. But it'd be interesting to see what your guys' opinions are on this subject, or if you've been through anything that you want to talk about. You know, don't want to be too personal. If you just have a thought or a question you want to ask about something, feel free to do it. I'm an open book. I'm here to give the best advice I can about, you know, modeling, life, gaming. You know, can't give you medical advice because I'm not a doctor, but I can give you what I've done as a history lesson. It might not be the right thing. Yeah, that is a thought I've been having about it, but I don't know if it's just my brain overreacting, because that's a thing that it does, but I just feel like I'm in a situation where it's kind of like it's easier said than done, where it's like I should and I could, but also they're like my bros and I want to play games, I want to get them into it, and I understand their situation that they can't really afford stuff because, you know, they just had kids and things, but I also just don't like knowing last minute what their lists are and having to dig through my closet to pull out all my boxes of stuff that's put away and mixing up models because they want to play really unique specific things. And yeah, it's just a lot of prep, especially since we don't have our gaming table set up yet in our house, so we have to they have to pick us up and then go into the city and then drive all the way back out. It's yeah, I should just do it. I should just put down the step, be like, hey, this is the last time. Like, I'm willing to try other games with you, but if you want to continue playing this one game, you're going to have to bring your own models. Why are you so shadowy? I bet it's because of the paint. It's probably the paint that's doing it. Yeah. Anyways. Am I going to need more brown? I'm going to need more brown. I think I'll leave one of them gray for their fur. You know, have a little diversity. Does anybody have a favorite paint color or paint range? I love Army Painter. I like their supplies and their tools and stuff. And for paint, I'm a big fan of Too Thin Coats. It's like that classic Games Workshop style of paint, but in dripper bottles that are not actually terrible. I will say second runner up, or if I can't get Too Thin Coats, because that's kind of still a little niche, is is indeed Army Painter. Have you tried their Wargamer Fanatics? Definitely like their speed paints and their gray primer. I like the gray primer and their blue primer. Only ever had issues with their green primer, which I've also heard people say their metallic primers had major issues. I never knew they actually made metallics, like for primers. I wish I could get more light on this. There we go. There we go. Kind of reset the ISO. Anyways. I do need to get like 2 directional lights. That would definitely help a lot. Or a phone camera. Phone cameras are actually surprisingly really good for mini painting. Huzzah. There we go. That's way better detail. You lied to me, camera. It was not focused at all. The game looks interesting to you, like the models and stuff. They're a 38mm scale game. The company started in 2016, and all their stuff, basically, unless it's like some pro-made model, is all plastic, multi-part kits, and all their rules, their lore, everything is free off on their website. So give it a check. I think if fantasy or like if Old World Fantasy got canceled, or if Tolkien decided to write fantasy, like for Games Workshop, Conquest would have been that game that they would have made. Like it's that sort of age of fantasy of Conan and like wizards riding tigers on the side of a minivan sort of feel, while also taking itself seriously and being sick. And I've played only 2 real serious games, and I can say in both instances, I never took it seriously. I was just playing role-playing my faction, having fun, and even though got in a couple like sort of like, oh, if this would have happened, we would have changed the game, sort of arguments. I guess you could say arguments with an opponent. In the end, like we were both just laughing and having fun, wanting to see each other's stuff like pop off, and just throw big models at other big models. And yeah, there was no sort of like trying to be super competitive or trying to like list tailor to each other. It was just we played, we had fun, and yeah, even with bolt action in my games I've played, and again I've played a lot more games of bolt action than I did conquest. So I've been playing since second edition, which third edition is just about to come out next week, I think. Um, Bolt Action was kind of like my 40k. It was a game that I could play casually, but also has a competitive element to it, which has caused a lot of 40k people to go over to it because of what Games Workshop did with 10th. And I've had a mixed bag. I've had playing with friends and knowing it's casual and just being historically accurate. We've had a lot of fun, but I could also, like, if I was to play random people, I know they're min-maxing their lists and stuff, and I'm going to be competitive. Which even in that game, competitiveness is just knowing where to position your stuff, and even then, it's not like 20 pages of rules that are better than your opponent's or your list was better made. Conquest very much so far has felt like I just made a list that was cool. The opponent made a list that was cool, and we were even. It was literally just down to playtime. Is that a part of his clothing or his leg? That's part of his leg. No. But I also heard Horse Heresy was like that too. Horse Heresy was very much playing the narrative and, you know, having fun, throwing together what your army thought was cool and stuff. It's a shame that, and I know because it's Horse Heresy, you're not going to see other things, but it would be kind of cool to see them have rules for orcs, because there's a lot of orc stuff that was happening during the Horse Heresy, I'm pretty sure. That or like after it, one of the two. Maybe see some Eldar, like combination Eldars before they split, kind of doing some stuff on the side. Maybe if they did a Necromunda or a kill team for that was based in Horse Heresy, they could do that, like an Eldar raiding party. I can paint over that later, that doesn't matter. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. It's been a while since I read the lore, but I knew there was orcs at some point. But talk about orcs. Space Marine 2 has been interesting to watch. I pre-ordered it myself. Got the gold edition, of course, like everyone else. Though if you didn't, the nice thing is it seems like they're kind of doing this weird hybrid for the season pass. So it's like all the scenarios and missions and stuff are still going to come out free for the most part for those who didn't buy it, like any other live service game or season pass based game. But the season pass is going to only give you access to like certain cosmetics and maybe in the future a specific mission that's kind of like locked behind it, but for now it's just cosmetics only. So there is no need to have bought the gold edition just to play it earlier. But the game is pretty fun. Oh, that sucks that you can't get it. Money or PC or consoles, understandable. My computer could not handle games from the last 5 years. It's just a shitty 2015 Steam box that's made with parts from 2012. So I buy everything for my console. We'll make this guy also brown too. But it's fun. It's very much just if you played Space Marine 1, you'll play Space Marine 2. It's how it used to be back in the day of old games where there'd be a sequel. It's just the game, but more abilities and different story angle. So it's very much got the same feel, same sort of story writing of Space Marine 1, but way bigger, like very much 40K, and it's really good for that reason. Yeah, it's it runs really good on Xbox. Like I got the Series X version. I don't know. Did they? I don't think they did. They release it on one, or they probably didn't. If you couldn't get it, but no, it is good, and I can see what the hype was all about. It feels like what gaming used to feel like, and that's good enough for me. Ah, that is fair. There's a lot of bugs on the screen. You could also play the World War Z game. That's the same people. It's not Space Marines, but, you know, it's got the same feel to it. That'll just mean once you finally get around to being able to play it, the game will be on sale and it'll be cheaper. And it's a game I bet you a lot of people are going to come, it's going to be in waves where people will stop playing it for a while, then people will come back to it, and it's just going to be one of those great classics to have. But anyways, enough of that. I feel like I'm kind of rubbing it in your face that I had it. And that's not the thing I was going for. I was just mostly finding something to talk about. Why are you the way that you are, werewolf? What are you? There we go. No, boom, 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 boom. What time is it? 4? Well, if you guys have anything to paint, might as well join in if you can. If not, thank you for still being here. Again, if you have anything you want to talk about, or if you want to see any sort of models I've made, I have my Twitter down below, hopefully still. You can see all the stuff that I've been working on and what I've started and finished. I can also do a showcase here to let this paint dry. Or since you came from the Synth Discord / channel, I post on there too. So you can see the art that I get done and do. It'd also be kind of neat to, at someday, if I continue doing streams like this, which I don't, I mostly YouTube. Streaming is something I very rarely ever do. But it would be neato to be in a Discord channel on one of these servers and then just chill in there and have people join in the conversation. Because again, I've spent 90% of the time looking at the model. I don't look at the screen. It takes me a bit to see when people type something. Yeah, that's fair. Heresy models is a good choice. boom, boom. Need more brown. Needs more brown. Well, thank you for stopping by and communicating. Have fun lurking. Enjoy what you're going to go do. Probably going to do this for maybe one more hour. And then I got to go meet somebody for plans that I had today. But I will have the pictures posted tonight on my Twitter. So make sure to go check that out and you'll see what these look like. Boom, 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 boom. The hands. The hands. There you go. Gotta get a new paper towel. Pause. Pause for reflect. Dramatic pause for effect. Excuse me. Almost done this brown. This Fisher Price brown. I think that is that on the brown. There we go. You can get to the side. Now this boy, we have some brown left, so we'll find a spot for it. You know, we'll use it on the fur that's on his pants. Go. Oh, there's some on the front too. Hey man, meh. Meh. Next time, He-Man. I'm not too sure if when these guys werewolf out, if they their clothes change with them, because it's not necessarily a mystical thing that turns them into a werewolf. To them it is, but like in realistically it's not. It's more of a biological thing that happens to them. It's I don't know if like if their clothing changes with them, or if they just have clothing to spare on the field to give them, or if they wear metallic stuff that can stretch and it's just the clothing that's left. Because how it works on them is very few people know who is a werewolf and stuff. To them it's kind of like you're chosen by one of the gods to take on the form of like an avatar to fight for them. There's a few cases where people have survived being a werewolf and they kind of, people know them, and if they prove themselves in battle, they'll kind of keep their distance, but they're known, so they probably have clothing or something that's ready for it. Like the one named character here, I believe he's one of the few werewolves that people know about, / he can kind of control it. And so he has clothing made for him, / he made it himself. But these guys, they usually just, something happens in their past, or somebody like they see if they're more of a mystical tribe, because you know there's a bunch of different tribes around, might see them get attacked by an animal and be like, that's a sign that maybe they're going to change. Other people might not know that that happened in their childhood, because you know, hunting, when you're doing hunting parties, you know, things always happen. So, and then just out of nowhere during a battle, poof, fur everywhere, and they're a doggo man. or they're like a half deer person or a super muscle person. So I've always wondered that. How does the clothing stretch in these things where people turn into giant monsters, and how are they still able to move without it completely just exploding when they take a step by it ripping? Who knows? But anyways, let's get to our paint. So we're gonna do the clothing. We're gonna do like the hoods and stuff. Use this. Again, the name is just fitting. Might as well use it. Then you hit it with a lighter color anyways when you're done washing, so get this nice cool ice blue effect once everything's said and done. So I think one of my favorite blues that I have and used has to definitely be the Luftwaffe blue from Vallejo. It's a really nice color. It's like a grayish blue or even a purplish blue, depending on how dense the pigment is when you use it, like how watered down it is. Like a Royal Navy blue. This is the color scheme of my army, is natural colors and blues, and then if they're sort of like a squad leader or a named character or something, they get purples on them, and gold for their metallics. If they're just basic dudes, it's silver and blues, or red if they're a sergeant. I should one day actually sit down, read more of the lore, and write up an actual like lore piece for my army, because I'm doing a custom one that fits the lore of the setting. And I want to make sure it actually fits and stuff like that. Those who may not know, but I talked about this a little earlier ago, I am a forever RPG DM, and I've wrote basically a whole world in the last like 8 years we've been playing in this thing. So, though I'm not a story writer, I'm more of like a George Lucas. I am a great world creator, not a good storyteller. Like I can tell stories in it, and it's decent, but I'm no like J.R. Martin or what else is there, like it's the dude who does all the Black Library stuff that's really popular and does comics too. No Stephen King or no J.R. Martin. I'm definitely a Tolkien or a George Lucas. Oh, that's funny. The brown is mixing with the blue in my bristles, the staining, and it's turning it green, which leads me to a cool cool technique that I learned about, which is called I forget what it's called, but Ninjon did it. But the idea is you fill up your first bit of paint that you want to blend into it, so it's in the middle, it's in the belly, as they call it, of the bristles, and then you use the other paint that you want it to casually drain out of, like starts with and then fades into. The start goes onto the tip, so you load up the tip, so as you drag it across, it forces the paint out. So as this paint is coming off, the paint inside starts flowing through, and it makes a nice like natural blend. It's really cool. I might try it someday, but I'm okay with just how my stuff looks. We'll do the discs too. There we go. So that's him. That's his robe. Now for this boyo, we're gonna do his shirt. Again, this is why I like doing it thin layers is also good, because you can kind of see, like, I thought this was a strap from a harness, but it's actually a strap from his shirt. But because it was light, I can go over it with this color, no problem. And kind of touch it up. Again, it looks bright right now, but it will get dim. It will get dull with the washes. And yes, I am a wash all over guy. I only kind of do accurate washes when I'm trying to, you know, make sure everything is clean. So like on my Sisters of Battle, I would do like pin washes. But on these guys, they're Nords, they're Vikings. Their stuff is dirty when they're in the middle of combat. Bop, bop, bop. There we go. Blue. Boop. There we go. Get that blue on there. Yeah, that's good enough. Slam. Oh, no, 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 no. If I had hair, I'd be headbanging. But I do enough headbanging from work, as it is. My head banging on the desk, that is. There we go. I get him to go into focus for you guys. Aw. There. Pop. No, I am not disappointed with this playlist that I picked for the music. It had a dragon on it with an electric guitar. I had to click it. it matches the cheesiness yet coolness that is this game. So is that it for shirt? At least that I can see. And that's that's the most important part. Paint what you can see, especially from the table. Paint his socks here blue. Might as well make it unique. Do. Alright, blue and blue and blue. Blue is done. Blue is done. Now we're just gonna check to make sure we're still live. Because, you know, craziness can happen. Oh yeah, we're still live. So that's good. Keptawa. Just type your message. There we go. Chat that, and then we're gonna pin that. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna go quickly take a washroom break. I don't know, could be a little TMI, but here we are. Anyways, so yeah, if you'll enjoy the music here, turn it up. But yeah, enjoy it. I'll be right back. Okay, let's get everything back up and going here. Sheboygan. There we go. That looks so much better. Oh, 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 oh. Hey. There we go. Let's just do that. There we go. Anyways, we're back. Yeah. So we've painted the browns. We've painted the blues. So now we got to paint the other clothing. For the pants, I think I'm going to paint... we're going to do this. We're going to paint this silt band. We're going to paint that for the pants. And then for the other furs, or for the claws, I use this. I use this for my... I use this for my claws and bones and horns and stuff. Or if I'm doing like undead, I use that for the skin. And then for the other fur, we're gonna just use Celestial Gray. And for the metallics, we're gonna use my hodgepodge of silvers to generic silver juice, or generic jello pudding, silver pudding, to paint all the metallic parts. So let's get to that. We're gonna get to the pants here. So pants is this one. Yeah, da. Move that out of the way. Have more room for my hands. Just go over because I'm using paint pots now. Pop. Bram down. Bam. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Bam. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Bam, bam, bam. don't know what happened here. Looks like he has a rip in it. Oh well. Do not know what happened there. Maybe glue or something. So I believe one of these guys, their legs were like two separate pieces. I think all of them were, their legs were separated. Anyways. So we don't get that same mistake we did with the cow lady. We're gonna let him dry before we continue with layers. And this guy. Do the monster mash. The hell is that on his leg? Oh, is that just more pants? Oh, that is. Material. It's wonky from the shadows. Anywho. Same idea with the other guy, we're just gonna have to let that section of the pants dry before we add more. Bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. I want to at least get the base coating done on these guys before I have to leave. Which I might be able to do. There we go. His pants are now done. Again, the washes are gonna stain it anyway, so. Anywho, this guy, do you have any brown material? You got a bit on your legs. We'll paint that. Oh, got a little bit of pant material down here. It's singular pant. Oh, how hilarious would it be if I got my next box of werewolves and I painted one up to be like some generic like fursona. That would be hilarious in my eyes. Yeah, if I get some on here, it doesn't matter. Do not care, it's under the pants. You're not going to see it when it's on the table. There we go. That's the pants color done. Take some water. There we go. Now onto the fur on their pants. What's that? Intriguing. Intriguing. Alright. Celestial Grey time. We'll also use this on the pillars, on their bases. It goes on bright, but then it dries like dull. I don't know if it's just because mine's old, or if that's just how it is, but that's how it usually goes. Well, there's pants material over here, so I'll have to come back with this. Is there any on the front? Yeah, there's a little. Any metallics on there I can just paint. There we go. There. This is done. Any on you? Nope. Not on you. You I've already done, so we're just gonna do it on your back. Make the fur slightly different than the fur on the skin. Maybe this was an older guy who finally werewolf out after like 30 years or something. Boom, boom, boom. Got paint between my fingers. I will say, the factions that I play with their current models, the newer ones are definitely way better, and other factions are way better too. It's just the you're either going to learn real quick how to do gap filling and sanding and smoothing, or you're already going to have that skill and you just didn't realize it. Because a lot of these monsters, larger creatures and stuff that I've made, even with proper cleaning and stuff and dry fitting, just there's gaps, major gaps, and they just would not fit properly. I don't know if that was the weather that affected the plastic or if that's just the plastic in general, but there's gaps and you can see it like right around the head here. And if I would have had proper green stuff or sprue goo, I could probably have fixed it, or insta cure resin, like the stuff that you put on with a dripper bottle and then you hit it with a UV flashlight. Could have probably fixed all of this, but I didn't care enough. I just cared it's glued, it looks cool. I'm at that point in my life where I can't get caught up on the small things. So that's the furs done. I will, though, I'll use it on the claws too. But we're going to do the claws now. Claws and teeth. I also use it on the bands on his arm here. When we get to the dry brushing and layering stage, it will look different. I believe this is a part of his shirt that ripped off. Looks like it. Ooh, follows. Hello. Well, thank you for the follow. We are currently painting some werewolves for Conquest. I don't stream as much on here. I'll let you know there. I mostly do YouTube and Twitter stuff, so I'd probably, if you like what I do here, I'd recommend following on there. I mostly do Twitch for fun things. My day's going okay. We had a pretty good, decent talk with chat an hour or so ago. Mostly focusing on mental health today and, just talking hobby, answering questions people might have as I try to get the base coat done on these wolves. Okay, that's that done. Oh yeah, I still need to do the claws. But yeah, hopefully you've been having a good day. Do you do any sort of hobbying or play any games, D&D sort of stuff? Have you been playing Space Marine? Claws. Get those teeths. Get them teeths. Yeah, I play mostly tabletop stuff is my jam. Got some like collectible board games. Like my favorite board game right now that I physically own is the Gloomhaven series. My all-time favorite board game that I have out. Though is going to be quickly replaced with the Apex board game once it comes out. It's on track to ship this month slash next month. It's been on a Kickstarter for the last year and a half, 2 years now. Um, Basically, the final batch test, whatever, the final yes or no is happening right now. And once that clears, they are going to start printing, and we should hopefully get it before Christmas in the English versions. But it is on Tabletop Simulator for free. But yeah, play that. War games, of course, mostly historicals like Bolt Action, or my funsy game has been Conquest. I really like that game. Really good game. What is your game of choice? Ah. More of a video game person. The most video games I have are like old, just because that's what my computer can run and I have the discs still. Though I do have a console. That's why I mostly play for new games, especially if they're cross-play. Can't really see that thumb. There we go. I'm guessing DBD is Dead by Daylight, unless he meant DND. I've not played Dead by Daylight, but I've seen it, and I know that there's Resident Evil stuff in there, which is my favorite horror slash game series of all time, for video games at least. But I've never been a fan of the 1v whatevers, or small team versus large team, or competitive MOBA-esque games, just because especially nowadays, I'm not as quick as I was. I don't have the time to study the meta. I just don't have the patience to be on edge the entire time. I'm very casual social gamer. I have played Bloodborne when I had a PlayStation. That one was definitely the much easier sort of Dark Souls series to play. Again, the Dark Souls games type is another one that like falls under the too cool for school for me. Like it's too school for cool. I just don't have the stamina to play that sort of game. I'm more into the more atmospheric survival horror games, kind of like old Alan Wake or games like Myst, where you're kind of just exploring, solving puzzles. Maybe there's a monster too that pops out. Or RTSs, I guess, is the most like competitive games I'll play. Get in there. Get on the claw. There we go. Get in his ear. Get his teeth. If I had a better setup, I'd probably stream games like that, though. That is a question. I really like the lady, like the hunter lady that you fight. That was a pretty cool idea. There's the one in the moon, like that spider in the moon. Moon's there, that fight. But Vicar Amelia, the wolf waifu. What do you mean by customized stuff? Oh yeah, there is her, the one that the doll was based off of. I remember her in the DLC. I've never got to actually fight her though, because I didn't have it. If you ain't spinning, you ain't winning. Yeah, I still don't know what you mean by using custom stuff. You mean like making my own models or closing stuff? For the most part, it's because it's not really meant to be like a real serious thing. The channel's always kind of just been me having fun, talking about stuff that I'm into. I do have kind of like artwork and stuff I got custom done, like my profile picture is my OC, like the channel OC. I have some other stuff made too for a series I had in mind to do in the past, but it's mostly just video. Not really trying to edit and stuff and be like most people. I feel like if I went a little bit too much into trying to get like custom like outros and stuff and getting all this work and getting a VTuber model and stuff like that, it would start feeling like a job and I'd have to get views and things to kind of like explain why I spent money and time, and I'm just not into that stress. YouTube's my kind of getaway from life. It's I can use it to see what I painted, look at color schemes, you know, kind of voice my opinions. Just something fun. Yeah. I'm not too sure. If I would, in the future someday maybe, but I have my characters and stuff. I am not too worried about how I look on like how many people I have viewing me and stuff. It's not a big deal, but thank you for the advice. Appreciate your criticism and stuff on the channel. Always appreciated. Pillar time. I'm also not that great at YouTube and streaming and stuff. It's like, there's also no real point in that either. If I had way better lighting and stuff and actually took it a little bit more seriously, I probably would. There we go. I do have a YouTube. It should be in the links below this stream. I think that's that. Did I paint his teeth? Yes, I did. Okay. Claws are done. If it's not down below in the links, it's the same name, just without the YT. And it should be the same character, just in a different picture. There's that. Pow. Not much silver on him. What about on you? Got a ring right here. Anywhere else on you? The belt here. On the belt there. There we go. If it's not, that should be it. Ah. You're alive, good. Oop. Oop. There we go. That should be my channel. You're supposed to be metal. Metal. In Twitch or on YouTube? Let me check. I'm guessing it's the same. Let me try refreshing. Oh, pop, 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 pop. Weird. Interesting. Ow. I am unfortunately. It's not showing me that you did, but well, it'll probably pop up later. But thank you for the subscription, anyways. I really appreciate it.
Oh, hi there.
But yeah.
Hey, you're more.
Yeah. Well, back to it. But yeah, I mostly do YouTube. That's like where all my stuff is. So if you want to see more stuff and like actual videos, that's where I'd recommend. But we're about done these boyos. Just finishing up anywhere else that might need metal. I'm just doing a quick little look over. Paint this piece here. I think one of these guys, their pants needed to be touched up somewhere. Oh yeah, his arm bracelet there. Maybe. I'll give it a couple of minutes and I'll take a look. I'm guessing your name on YouTube is the exact same. There we go. Pants, and then we'll get to the bases. Pants have been fixed. Ah, I see. Well, you're welcome to stay and watch and chat and stuff, though I am not looking, unfortunately, for stuff for now. If stuff happens in the future and, you know, stuff happens, maybe, but as of right now, I'm currently not looking for stuff to add to my channel. If I do, I kind of want to learn how to do it myself, just so I can kind of have the skill, you know, still have it be a hobby. Go use my special soap. Get that point back. There you go. Yeah. That brush can go here to dry. Yeah, this stuff's awesome. It's green tea. No worries. I'm just saying it out there just because there is stuff going on with people on Twitch where people are coming in and soliciting. So I was just saying it was a response. No worries on that. Didn't mean anything towards you on doing it. Though it seems like a cool thing to do if like making assets and stuff. It's always been something I've looked into. Ow. What the hell is that on my floor? I'll have to look at that after. Anyways, let's get to the texture paint. Yeah, after this texture paint, I'm gonna unfortunately have to go, because I do have plans to meet up with somebody. So let's just do that right now. This is the fun part. It's literally just stucco and water. And you can be as messy as you want because it's snow. Pop, 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 pop. I do. Again, it is mostly just for shits and giggles and thoughts and stuff. So it's not the best out there. It's not like, you know, Iron Mouse or anything, or PewDiePie. It's just for funsies. Like I'm not gonna say stop you if you do it on your own time if you feel like it's something you want to donate to it. But I'm currently not really looking right now because I don't really have a theme really. Like I have an idea behind what I want to do, but I don't really have like, you know, the OC character fully laid out and a theme and stuff. I'm kind of all over. So I couldn't ask for one just because I don't know what I'm looking for. And I'm also kind of in a situation where I can't really afford anything right now. But if you want to do one on the side, and you thought it was kind of cool, like, you know, fan art sort of idea, I'd be interested to see what you do. Alright. more snow. There we go. Probably not. The Discord I have is for other stuff, so don't really use it for personal communication. But if you have a contact, like an email, business email or something, feel free to leave that down in the chat, or a like a contact, you know. But there we go, snow. Done? Snow done. There we go. Poke, 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 poke. A lot of just patting at the snow to kind of push it around. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. There, snow done on his base. My Twitter should also be below, but again, mostly not into that sort of stuff right now, and not really communications with people. So do I have to add water to this? I probably do. Re-solidify this, or liquefy. Probably re-liquefy. There's literally just wall stucco. Get that stuff mixed up. There we go. Bring it back to life. Which this stuff is easy to reactivate with just water. Water alcohol. But I do have to rinse out my water cup once I'm done with this stuff because it's really bad for your brushes. And if I would have primed these bases blue or white, it would actually make a cool effect underneath the snow. That's what we have grass for, to cover up these holes. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. There we go, that. Pop, 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 pop. Boop, 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 boop. I'm fine. again, if you made something on the side, you just kind of like presented, like tagged me, and you're like, hey, here you go, here's something for you. It's like a fan art or a gift. You know, I'm not gonna say no, but I wouldn't also ask you to do something for me that I don't even know what I want, or you know, what would be work for you, and you know, and I can't afford it or anything. I feel that people should be credited, or you know, at least paid for something that they do if they make it for you, and they, you know, like you actually talk with them to make it. So not for now at least, but thank you for asking. Got snow in this section here. Oh, I can get under these legs right here. There we go. Second base done of snow. When I get back and they're dried, I can apply a varnish to it so that when I add the grass, it doesn't stain. You have a good day too. Again, thank you for the follow in the description. And yeah, in the future, if I'm ever looking for something, I'll look you up on Twitch here, and I'll check out your Twitter and stuff. Stones of the wall. Kind of wish these resin pieces had more than just the 5 same helmets on the ground. Need more stone and other works, braziers even. Or bodies of statues even. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. Alright, bye-bye. Eh. There we go. I think that's it. Get some snow under his feet. There we go. So that's all the snow base is done. And with that, that's all the base painting done. So close this lid. The eyes I'm going to paint after the washes, just so that they stick out more. Because they're tiny eyes. But, yeah. This is what we've done today. But with that, guys, I do have plans, and I do want to do some stuff around the house before I leave. So thank you so much for stepping by and checking out the stream. Thank you for all those who interacted with me and stuff like that. So, boom, 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 boom. Boom. So, yep. A little more surface on here. We're going to go here. It's the same picture, too. Unfortunately, I had to do that. Same thing I say on here, guys. I'll say this as a warning. As I close off the stream, I'm going to switch to the closing channel so I can let my camera cool down. But I'll say this, closing off. As this is a place that I will hardly ever be on, checking out my YouTube and my Twitch is the best place. That's where I'll also post when I'm doing stuff like this. I am also pro for people listing their services, you know, putting themselves out there, all small creators and stuff like that. But please respect the channel. When I do stream, when I do go live, unless I'm actively looking for something, like a lot of these bots are doing, where they're trying to push, you know, fish scam, whatever it's called, quote unquote, digital, there's an actual word for like advertising and stuff, like digital artist, not a digital artist, but like, what are they called? They make signs and stuff. People like that. I know these can be your job and stuff like that, and there's legit people that do it, but take a note that, yeah, it's, please, yeah, just, I can't think. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get to the point. I'm trying to get you guys to another place. We're gonna go raid somebody that's way cooler than me, but yeah, just respect the channel, respect my YouTube page. You know, feel free to, if you have a legit business service, you know, just a quick little note like, hey guys, this is what I do. Can I please post my link to it in the chat? And don't try to sell me stuff unless I ask for it or others ask for it. But that's my PSA, my warning to the chat. If I'm going to be doing more Twitch streaming, especially with painting challenges or gaming in the future, that's all I ask. It's for your safety and mine, for the viewers and for me. So, but with that, guys, thank you so much for staying at the end of this, listening to me try to ramble my thoughts. I had fun. I might stream tomorrow. I might not, depending on plans. Definitely Friday, I'll do some streaming. And we'll continue painting. We're going to paint the giant next on stream. I'll paint something else, but I'll save the giant for next stream. So with that, guys, please stay around. We're gonna go raid somebody else. You should get bonus points if you stay with me for raiding. But yeah, we will see you guys next time or my next YouTube video. Bye.
Did not get. It's fine. It's fine.